Welcome to the Trinity Reformed Church podcast.
Hi, this is Larson Hicks with Trinity Reformed Church. Before our regularly broadcasted program, I want to tell you about a conference we're putting on here in Huntsville this January. The conference is called Stronghold, and our theme for this first year is biblical masculinity. We're thrilled to have a great lineup of speakers. Pastor Vodi Bacham, Pastor Michael Foster from the It's Good to Be a Man podcast, Pastor George Grant, Dr. Ben Merkel, president of New St. Andrews College, and Pastor Rich Lusk. Tickets are on sale now at strongholdconference.com. Supplies are limited, so be sure to get one quick before we're all sold out. Thanks. Hope to see you there.
Exhortation by Larson Hicks on January 3rd, Lord's Day service.
Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 18. Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor giving preference one to another. Not lagging in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving in the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing steadfastly in prayer, distributing to the needs of the saints, given to hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice, and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. What a glorious passage, full of exhortations for the community of God's people. The Christian life is a communal life. It is not a life to be lived alone in secret. The Christian is saved from damnable isolation into Christ and is grafted into Christ and his bride, the church. The exhortation today is to pursue the strengthening of these covenantal bonds. The church may be heading for persecution in the days ahead of us. Without brothers and sisters that you know have your back, the temptation to give in, to surrender, to compromise, to abandon the narrow path may become almost irresistible. The church today needs families whose bonds are stronger than membership at a local pool, or kids on the same sports teams, or even attendance at the same school. Look around this room. God has given these people to you for your benefit. A community with a healthy culture is not something that happens automatically. Culture must be cultivated. Here are the things we want to encourage this community to especially cultivate. The first is hospitality. Some of you are already doing a wonderful job at this. I want to encourage you to resolve in 2021 to have more people in your home. When it comes to hospitality, also remember that Martha Stewart's probably done more damage to hospitality than she has good. Because families have come to think that in order to have people over, their home needs to appear as if it's being staged for a Southern Living photo shoot. And so they can't have people over. Resist this error. Focus on the aroma of the fellowship in the home. Parents who graciously correct their children without embarrassing everyone. Children who quickly obey. And an overall cheerfulness in the home. It would be far worse to have church members over for dinner into an immaculate home and serve an 8-course meal, but to have a couple that's snarky with one another and children who are grouchy. It would be far better to serve beans, just a pot of beans, in a slightly messy house with some laundry in the corner, but for that home to be full of joyful laughter and sweet fellowship. In other words, the main course, when you have guests, is the fellowship. The second way that we want to encourage you to cultivate, things that we want to encourage you to cultivate in this community is music. We want to be, and that's why we're doing this Bible study on music, we want to be a singing people. This is in fact what we'll be spending all of eternity doing, singing, together with the angels and the saints around the throne of God. Might as well get good at it now and grow to love it. TRC families have been given contuses. Use them in your homes. The third thing we want you to cultivate in this community is worship. We desire for Lord's Day worship to be the center of our community, the fountain from which everything else flows. Hebrews 10:24 says, "And let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as is the manner of some, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching." Make being at Sunday worship a priority in your family, and make the Sabbath the pinnacle of the week. We were at one family's home recently, and we loved to observe that their children couldn't wait for the Lord's Day because the parents had made it the best day of the week. It was the day that had some special treats, some special traditions, and it became something that they're training their children to call the Sabbath a delight. It's a great thing. That's something we want to encourage all of you to be doing. So finally, I want you to remember Ecclesiastes says, 2 are better than 1, and a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Pursue Trinitarian friendship, not just between 2 families, but let's cultivate deep relationships with multiple families that also have deep relationships with one another. Behold how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Our prayer for 2021 is that this will be said of the saints of Trinity Reformed Church.
Thanks for listening. If you want to find out more, check out our website at trinityreformedkirk.com. That's trinityreformedkirk.com.